What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 2 of our Canucks GM mode. So, in last episode, I asked you guys that I wanted potential changes I could do to my players. So, like editing Bo Horvat's potential up, and same with a few other players. So one guy, I don't remember your name because I'm not looking at your comment right now. But he did suggest to edit 3 players in their overall potentials. There's more that I could have done, like I could have edited people like Goodbranson down a bit, but I did not. So first, foremost, let's go to unsigned. Oh, actually, he's not an unsigned, I guess. So Guillaume Brisebois, we made him into a top 6 defenseman instead of, I think he was a high AHL top 2 defenseman. So he's got better potential now, as well as Olli Juolevi's been moved up to a medium elite because he's not a low elite. Low elites don't grow, as we figured out with our Islanders GM mode. So Olli Juolevi will grow a lot probably. And then in the NHL squad, the only player we edited was Bo Horvat to a medium elite from a medium top 6. So Bo Horvat should grow to a 90 probably or so. Other than that, that's what we did to the team. I didn't change Goodbranson. I should have put him probably to a low elite because I don't think he's capable of growing to like a 90 overall or an 88 or something. So, but anyways, there's a couple trades I wanted to do to start off the episode. I asked you guys if you could suggest me trades, but nobody did. So I did find a kind of a good deal that I figured out with Minnesota, because I was doing a bit of pre-scouting. I don't know if this makes sense. It kind of does, I think, for Minnesota's standpoint, because Minnesota, they have older players like Parise and Suter who are close to retiring and wanting a Stanley Cup. So what we're sending Minnesota is both Sedin twins, because you know how I said that I wanted to send them both to a team that would both want them. So both Sedins, but Minnesota can't really take on their contracts because of the cap space, but we're going to retain $3 million from each player, which is kind of a lot, but they only have like another year on their contract, so we'll retain $3 million, which is equivalent to 43% of their contract. So basically, they're paying only $4 million a year to the Sedins each, and in exchange, we're going to be getting a couple of good players. I already know this trade does go through. So in exchange, we are going to be getting, first and foremost, Alex Tuch, I don't know how that's pronounced, but right wing power forward. So this guy's pretty much like a Jake Virtanen as well, but I decided that I'll bring him in because if you look at his physical stats, he's 4-star physical. He's a good skater as well. He doesn't have the best puck skills and shooting, but he does got a lot of shooting power, and his accuracy at 77 isn't that bad. So we'll bring in Alex Tuch, don't know how it's pronounced, but we'll add him to the deal. As well, I wanted to bring in, the trade values obviously would be like way lopsided with that trade. So we also have to bring up some cap space back. So I was looking for potential centers that could replace him. And who other than Mikael Granlund? I know Mikael Granlund's been really good this season, and this kind of is unrealistic, but we'll bring in Mikael Granlund. He's only got, I believe, 1 year left on his deal. Yeah, 1 year left at $3 million. So if he grows, we'll probably re-sign him because he's definitely a good centerpiece for at least a few years. Or he could just be a center until we get a new prospect center in at the draft if we do decide to go for one. And then finally, also to add to the deal is just Jason Zucker, who's another medium top 6 forward. He's 24, just like Mikael Granlund. He's an 83, so he's not that bad, and he's got 2 years left at $2 million. So we're saving a lot of cap space by making this trade as well. And that could go through on its own, but I remember I tried it and it did not go through. So I also was looking at what they were interested in, and they were interested in what's his name, Alexander Grenier, this AHL top 6 guy. We're not going to be using him at all, so I throw him into the deal, and that should go through on its own. So let's see if it goes through, and it does. So the Sedins are both shipped off to Minnesota. Hopefully Alex Tuch, the main part of that deal, becomes something good, and hopefully Granlund maybe stays with us for a couple years. Now we have both Granlunds on the team, so I'm not going to know who scores when we do simulation videos, because we're going to have Marcus and Mikhail. I'm going to edit the lines, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay guys, we are back. So our first line now comprises of Louis Eriksson alongside Mikhail Granlund and Brandon Sutter. Then the second line, you got Yannick Hansen with Bo Horvat and Jason Zucker, followed by Sven Barchi with Alexander Burrows and Reed Boucher. And then the fourth line, you got Derek Dorsett with Marcus Granlund and Jack Skilly. So you got a Granlund on the fourth line and on the first line. I don't know if we're going to keep both of them, but yeah, so now we have both Granlunds. Defensively, everything's the exact same as what I showed you at the beginning. Or did I even show you the lines? No, I didn't. I don't think so. But anyways, yeah, and goaltending's like that. We actually just need to quickly edit the AHL. Scratch Carter Banks, and Alex Tuch is going to go in because Alex Tuch's got potential. So we'll put him up there even though his overall is less. Also, I'd like to give the kids some power play time instead of Peltier, because Peltier is 33, so there's no point in putting Peltier on the power play, so we'll put Tuch there. And yeah, we'll do it instead of Rodin. Okay, that should be good. Maybe I should have put him actually on the penalty kill because he's probably got better defensive stats, but whatever. Okay, so that's one of the trades I wanted to make. I don't think I want to make the other one that I was looking at, because I was looking at potentially trading Yannick Hansen to the LA Kings for what was it, Spencer Watson, because Spencer Watson's a decent prospect, but I don't know if he grows to be anything. I don't even know about Alex Tuch if he grows to be anything. But anyways, let's go on to the simulation. I guess we'll just sim up to the trade deadline. We'll just go a bit at a time, see how we do. So let's see how we go in the preseason first, and then we'll check our preseason stats. I'm hoping some of the prospects down in the minors have like great years. Like we only have a couple prospects in the minors. I think Oliu Levy's currently still in London playing for the Knights, and then I believe what's his name? Oh, what's the other prospect? Our other prospects like Guillaume Brisebois, he's still in Charlottetown, and a few other things like that. So we're not having a good preseason at all. We're 1-4. I guess that's understandable though, because we did just make a pretty big blockbuster trade, trading both Sedins. I was originally going to trade one Sedin to Minnesota and then try and find a team where I could get a good first round pick for, but nobody wanted him. That was probably going to be a bottom feeder team. But anyways, we go 2-4 in the preseason, which is not very good at all, but and our locker room chemistry is dropping off. But then again, it's just a preseason. Who worries about the preseason? So let's just see our player stats. So Mikhail Granlund, I almost said Marcus. Mikhail Granlund, Louis Eriksson, Brandon Sutter, Alex Burrows, and Sven Barchi all put up 3 points in 6 games. Yannick Hansen, Bo Horvat, Reed Boucher, and Zucker with 2 points. Then Marcus Granlund, Tanev, Goodbranson, Hutton, Spiza, Dorsett, Edler all had 1 point, and Skilly and Stetcher did not have a single point. So we actually had a decent amount of points throughout the entire team. A lot of our players were minuses, which is not good, but hopefully it's better for the season. And Ryan Miller actually played very well, though, for those preseason games, with a 2.01 goals against average and a 931 save percentage, which is kind of surprising because we still managed to lose games. So I guess a lot of those games were 1-goal losses or something like that. Okay, so now let's I guess we'll slow sim the first game of the season, and then we'll sim up to the trade deadline. So So waivers, I know, because I'm not sending anybody down to the minors. Not yet, at least. If I was gonna send somebody down, no, I'd send down people like Michael Chaput, because Chaput's a scratch player currently. But anyways, let's slow sim the first game of the season, and then we'll sim a couple months, or maybe a bit longer. And it's scoreless after one, and it's 1-1 going into the third. Louis Eriksson gets the first goal of the season for the Canucks, and our first goal in our franchise mode. And Troy Stecher with his first NHL goal, making it 2-1 Canucks. Nice to see Stecher get his first NHL goal in his first game. But then again, Calgary only has Chad Johnson in net, so it's not much of a threat. I don't know why they didn't start Brian Elliott. And we're going to take game 1 of the season 2-1. We didn't score that much, but we did manage to win. So Louis Eriksson from Brandon Sutter, and it looks like Mikael Granlund. I'm not sure. And then Stecher from Sutter and Mikael Granlund. So Sutter and Mikael Granlund. I believe it was Mikael. Both picking up 2 assists in that first game of the season. So it's nice to bring in somebody like Granlund. Oh wait, let's see. I can't even tell if it's him unless I check the player stats, but that's the thing with having both Granlunds on the same team. Okay, so let's go first up to the start of October, or November, I mean, at the end of October. I'm going to try and keep this to a 25-minute video, just because that's what one of the guys that commented on my video suggested. And wow, we're playing good off the bat, 4-0 to start the season, and we've been a pretty good defensive team, so maybe this trade is pretty good for us. Okay, so we got our first injury though. Eric Goodbranson's been injured with a wrist sprain. He'll return on November the 3rd. So let me just edit the lines and I'll be back in a sec, guys. Okay, guys, so I decided to move up Troy Stecher to the replacement where Goodbranson was, and Alex Bega is now jumped into the lineup. And while we're 5-1 now, it's a pretty good record. 5-2-0, lost back-to-back games, and we got some player morale to deal with. I should turn off the player morale thing, and yeah, I know Alex Bega, blah, but you're not actually going to stay in the lineup. You're just going to be a depth guy for us for the season at least, unless I trade you. Come on, guys, let's end this 2-game losing skid. And it's a good year for rookies, of course it is, because there's good players like Nolan Patrick, Nico Hischier, that sort of thing. I didn't edit any of those prospect guys, so they might go late in the draft when they're not supposed to, but hopefully it's kind of accurate, because it's the most recent roster update still by EA, so we'll see how that plays out. So Eric Goodbranson is back. Let me just edit lines, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so Goodbranson is back, but he is still half injured unless he'll return probably pretty soon though. Hopefully he doesn't get re-injured. So after that first month we are 6-3-0. How's our HL team doing? 3-3-1. Well, at least they're winning games, I guess. Thatcher Demko is also playing down there, so we got to make sure he's playing good. We could have got a lot of players just for the HL just to make Thatcher Demko have a good season, but whatever. Okay, so let's sim up to December the 1st. See how good this November is. We have a lot of games in November. Looks like a majority of them are on the road. There's a couple on home ice though. Actually, we should slow sim that game against Minnesota just so to see if the Sedins strike against us. But I don't know if that might add a little bit more time to this video. Don't know how long it's been so far because I have to edit out a bit of stuff, but it's currently at 18 minutes around, but I have to edit out like a couple minutes worth of stuff anyway, so. And we're not having the greatest month here. We're 9-7-0 now, so I kind of want to have a bad season in a way because I want to go for a good prospect. So hopefully we do not turn into a playoff team just because of that trade. Hopefully that helps out Minnesota though. I'd like to see the Sedins get at least a Stanley Cup or something, because Minnesota is already a good team, so. And we've won 3 in a row now, and we've scored like at least 5 goals in our last 3 games each, so our offense is showing up for sure. 14-8-0, wow. I wasn't expecting us to play this good with that trade because we did just trade away 2 88 overalls for like an 85 and 83 and a prospect. So okay, once it loads back up. Okay, so we're up here at December 1st, and we're 14-8-1, which puts us currently at just above the wildcard spot. So our division seems like it's pretty stacked. As you can see, Edmonton's like the last place in what it's showing, and they're only 5 points behind us. And then Calgary's only 3 points behind us, and LA's only 2 points. So there's still a chance that we might not make the playoffs, which is good. Let's just check the player stats currently for the season to see who's doing what for us. We're not going to go through every single player, but I just want to check for a bit of stuff. So let's just see forwards. So who's scoring the most goals for us? Oh, what a surprise. Louis Eriksson's got 9 goals. Assist-wise, Louis Eriksson and Yannick Hansen both have 13 assists. And point-wise, it's Louis Eriksson. But look at that. Mikael Granlund, 17 points in 23 games. Definitely happy with that. And then Jason Zucker's only got 8 points, but he is a +2, and he's only got 2 penalty minutes, so it doesn't look like we're taking a lot of penalties. Only a few players, like surprisingly Brandon Sutter's taking a lot of penalties. Same with Derek Dorsett and Burrows. Okay, and so that's that. Let's just check defensemen. So Alex Edler's leading the way for defense with 11 points, followed by Troy Stetcher, our youngster, with 8 points, and so on like that. So actually, we're getting some good offense from everybody. Seems like how's the goalie's doing. So Ryan Miller's already got 2 shutouts, and he's playing pretty well, 9-5-1, with a 2.35 goals against average and a 921 save percentage. And then Markstrom's 5-3-0 as our backup, so that's pretty good. But with a 2.71 goals against average, which is a bit high, and a 911 save percentage. Okay, so let's also check standings wise, how are we doing in the entire league? Oh wow, we're 10th in the entire league, but look, these teams are all right on our ass pretty much. Like there's still a lot of room where we could just fall back to the bottom. Okay, so let's just simulate another month or two, get up to the trade deadline. I'm hoping though that we could start losing a lot of games, because I really want to have a nice maybe top 10 pick, top 5 pick to this team. We could always trade away somebody to get one. But then again, we don't really have anybody that's like high trade value unless we trade away a good prospect. But I don't really want to do that because we do have some really good prospects here in Vancouver. But who knows if we're going to get far or not. So let's see, defense. I don't want to go to the rest of the world just for one defender. So let's scout the WHL for forwards for 6 weeks. And then we'll scout defensemen in Canada all over. And then goalies. Well, actually not goalies, because we don't really need a goalie considering we got Thatcher Demko in the minors. So yeah, we'll probably just scout forwards and defense all over the place if we can. That's not even a word. Mostly in Canada, because Canada's got the best prospects usually in the OHL and anywhere in the CHL, I guess. So we're 18-12-1, and Columbus is playing shit, but we lose to them in overtime. Can we go on a losing streak? Yeah, there's a 3-game losing streak. But if we keep playing like this, we might just barely squeak into the playoffs. But I don't really, like I said, I just don't really want us to be in the playoffs. That's a decent player to put on waivers. So Tom Pyatt, but I don't think we want him. He is 80 overall, but he's only 29, and he's a top 6 or bottom 6 forward. And he's got good defensive stats, but I don't really want to bring him in because I'd rather be playing Marcus Granlund on that 4th line over Tom Pyatt. So, and our center core is pretty good on its own. I think Tom Pyatt's like a centerman. So, and let's see, we're 20-16-2 at January 1st. How's the standings looking? We're on that last wildcard spot only by a point, so that's actually pretty good because Edmonton's like right on our ass. But how are we in the entire league? I guess whoever is yeah, the Arizona Coyotes is way on the bottom of our division with 35 points, but they could still easily catch up to us because we still have a lot of games to go. Let's see. Currently, we are. Yeah, see, we're still top 20 in the league. We're 13th. And Yannick Hansen's leading us in points now. I'm not going to check the points till the end of the video. Okay, let's sim up. Let's just sim one more month. Yeah, let's just sim up one more month to February 1st, and then I'll look and see what's available because it shouldn't change for the deadline. And then you guys could let me know what I should trade for at the trade deadline. Any roster moves or stuff I should do, that sort of thing. Because like I said, this GM mode, I really want to get you guys engaged in this and suggesting me stuff to do. Okay, let's see. So we've lost 3 in a row now. And one of them was to Arizona too. That's kind of good, I guess. So Andre Padan's been injured with a concussion. Let's just replace him. Because that's a minor league player. But yeah, we might be able to just squeak in the playoffs, but I don't really want to make the playoffs. I'd rather have a nice prospect for next year, because technically the Canucks in real life aren't necessarily a playoff bound team. Like this season at least, they're kind of like what we are, and kind of on the brink of getting to the playoffs, and then they're like a bit behind in points, and that hurts. An 8-1 loss to the Devils somehow. I don't know how New Jersey manages to score 8 goals, especially in Vancouver. But now we're on a 3-game losing streak, so that's good for our standings wise. There's a 4-game losing streak. Now we're turning back to the Canucks, I know. 23, 22, and 3. There's a win though. Back-to-back wins. We're basically 25 and 25 on the season, heading into February. Okay, so let's check what's available for trade-wise. We still have like a month exactly till the trade deadline, but let's just see what's available. And now we're out of the playoffs completely, which is good news. We'll check the player stats actually first. Okay, so Louis Eriksson leading the way in points at least. So let's just change that over to forwards. So leading us in goals is Mikael Granlund. Surprisingly, as a playmaker, he's managed to pick up 15 goals on the season. Point-wise, we said, yeah, Louis Eriksson with 40 points. Assist-wise is Eriksson. That's why, I guess. So, yeah, Eriksson, Horvat, Granlund, Hansen, Sutter, Barchi. Jason Zucker's actually got 23 points, so that's not too bad considering. He's on our second line, but he's not been that bad at all, and he's an even 0 on the season, so he's not on a line that's allowing too much goals. Then you got Burrows, who's actually got 21, Reed Boucher 19, Marcus Granlund 16, Skilly 12, and Dorsett 8. Onto not goalies, but the defenseman. Alexander Edler's got 19 points. That's pretty good. And then Troy Stetcher's been playing very well so far. He's actually jumped up to an 82 now. And he's got 18 points in 50 games. Hutton's got 15. Tanev's got 8. Goodbranson only 5. And Sabiza 4. And Bega, who only played 4 games, he's only got 1 point. Goaltending wise, both goalies have been playing good, but look at that. Markstrom has their backup 8-4-0, but Miller's been not very well, so I guess maybe I could have made Markstrom our starter, but whatever. Okay, so that's that for player stats. Let's just take the team stats. And then we will go to see what's available. Okay, so currently in the entire league for point-wise, we dropped off a lot. And we could still drop off a lot more. We are currently in 21st. Dallas is tied with us in points, and then all these teams could literally catch up to us, except for, yeah, it's a little far for New Jersey and Columbus, so we might not get a top 5 pick or maybe not a top 5 pick, but we might get a top 10 pick for sure this year if we continue playing badly. Let's check our goals for, well, actually average-wise. So currently we're not scoring enough. We're way down here at 2.72 per game. I almost thought it was the Islanders for a sec. Goals against per game, we are allowing way too much because we are one of the worst. Power play. Let's see, how is the power play doing? Our power play is actually pretty good. It's top 10. It's actually at number 8 in league. And our penalty kill looks like shit. Yeah, we have one of the worst penalty kills. It's it's like number 7 on the bottom. So yeah, and our last 10 is 4, 6, and 0. Actually, I have to check the AHL stats as well. So our AHL team is really playing very well so far. 29, 10, and 4. So looks like Thatcher Demko's having a great first season down in the minors. Jake Virtanen's leading the way with 44 points. I just want to check a few of these prospects. So Virtanen, 44 points. Gauntz has got 39. And look at that. Alex Tuck, he's up to a 77. This kid could probably be ready for the NHL next season. Nice. He's got 12 goals, 18 assists, and he's got 30 points in 43 games. And he's not even a minus player. He's got 14 penalty minutes. But yeah, he's playing good. I don't know if it's just because of the power play. He's got 2 power play goals, which means 10 even strength goals. But yeah, our AHL team is playing very nice. How's Thatcher Demko? Oh yeah, Thatcher Demko's actually playing as the backup. I forgot about that. But he's 9-2-0 as the backup. And he's got a 2.03 goals against average and a 923 save percentage. So AHL has been playing very, very well, which is what we want to see because we want those prospects to grow a lot. Okay, let's see what's available quickly on the trading block. This episode might actually be a bit longer than 25 minutes because it says 30 minutes right now, but I did have to edit the lines and stuff like that, so I'm going to have to edit that out. But let's see what's available on the trading blocks or in the league. If you guys see anything that we should go after, let me know. So Anaheim's just got some picks. Arizona has Shane Doan pretty much because we're not going after Datsuk, obviously, because he's actually retired from the NHL. There's Cave. Nothing huge. Giunta. We don't really need to trade for anybody, I don't think, but who knows. Michael Layton, Johnson, Jerome McGinley, and Francois Beauchemin. Ryan Stanton, former Canucks player. Patrick Sharp. Some prospects again, or well, picks, I should say. Andrew Ferentz, Jaromir Jagr, Derek McKenzie, and Sean Thornton. Spencer Watson, Zane Mitchell, I think his name is, Gregoire, Kearns, Chimera, and Bolton. Kovacs, Trennan, and Diaby. Gazdic, Savard, and Kincaid. Chris Drieger, it's not too bad. Mark Streit. Matt Murray's still available, but I don't think we would be able to get Matt Murray. Balsers, Blaze, and Vasilevsky's still available as well. Some more picks, Liam O'Brien, and more picks. So nothing hugely available. If you guys did see something though that we could go after, let me know. But otherwise, that's gonna do it for this episode of our Canucks GM mode. So next episode we'll probably finish up the entire season. We'll also do the trade deadline if we do trade for anybody. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks guys for watching. See you guys next time.